Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about some brand new products from Huda Beauty. We have 4 new Obsessions palettes. These are the Wild Obsessions palettes. These are all currently available. You can find 3 out of the 4 on the US Sephora site. The Wild Tiger Obsessions palette is exclusive to the Huda Beauty and ASOS websites. And according to their official Instagram, you can also find it at Sephora Europe and Sephora North Asia. If you are in the US like I am, then you need to go to the Huda or ASOS sites to pick up the Wild Tiger palette. These are priced at $29 US a piece. Along with the new Wild Obsessions palettes, they also sent over this little lip set. This is the Wild Lip Quad. The lip quad is priced at $33 and it has a mini silk balm and then 3 mini liquid mattes. I haven't seen anybody else mention this, but on the top of the Wild Lip Quad it says, "Which shade stays? Vote now on hudabeauty.com/vote." Right here I noticed this little message. I assume that means that these 3 liquid matte shades are new. I mean, I guess we can go and look and see. I just did a quick search on the Huda site and I didn't pull up any full-size lip colors with these names. So I'm just inferring that these are 3 new shades and that based on votes they'll make one of them permanent. That sounds kind of fun. I like that interactive idea. This Silk Balm in the shade Blush is already a permanent product and it's already a favorite of mine. I've gone through a few of these, both full size and mini. I really like this Silk Balm. I've been off the matte lip train for a while, but I actually quite like the Huda Liquid Matte formula. It's very lightweight. It goes on in a nice thin layer, so that does mean that the deeper shades sometimes need a little bit more work to not be streaky, which, you know, it's kind of the way it is with these more lightweight matte formulas, so that doesn't really bother me much. I'll show you some lip swatches so that you can see what these really look like on my lips. We have the lightest shade, Feline, which is what I'm wearing throughout the talking portions of this video. This is the type of shade I wear a lot, and this is my favorite of the bunch, but that's just because I really like basic lip colors. Next we have Huntress. This is a mid-tone rosy type of shade. Now, I do think that this is going to be the most universally flattering. These mid-tone rose shades look great on a wide variety of skin tones. They look great with a lot of different kind of looks. They can carry off really simple, basic, light, neutral looks. They look great with really heavy glam looks and everything in between. So even though Feline is my personal favorite, I do think that Huntress should be the one to win because I think this is the one that's going to be the most universally loved and flattering shade. Then lastly we have Untamed. This is more of a wine, vampy type of shade. This also is going to look beautiful on a lot of people, but this is the one that I struggled to make fully opaque and not really streaky. Kind of typical for a deep lip color like this, but that is my experience with Untamed. Overall, I like these formulas. I like this little mini set. I think this is a great addition to this release, and I love the interactive vote for the color that stays component. All around, I'm surprised more people aren't talking about this product. I know the palettes are exciting. I'm somebody who loves a palette too, so I get it. But don't overlook this because I think this is a nice little set. Now let's get into the palettes. I'll give you a close-up look at each one of these, break down the shades, I'll show you swatches. Let's take a close-up look at each one of these Wild Obsessions palettes now. We're gonna start with the Tiger Wild Obsessions palette first. Look at this packaging. The way that it shifts when you move it, the way the light, this is so cool. I love everything about it. I love the packaging. Otherwise, it's the exact same shape and size as her other 9-pan palettes. Here you'll see there are 5 mattes, 4 shimmers, and the center shimmer here has this textured, pressed print. This whole collection is so cool inside and out. The other three shimmers are these foily metallic shimmers, but that one in the center is a very shifty, almost like a transformer or a topper type of shade. And you're gonna see across all of these palettes, there's a wide range of textures. They're not all the same layout. They're not all the same formulas. There's a huge variety in here, in the shades, in the textures, in the formulas. Every palette is very, very unique within this collection. The Jaguar palette, the shifting of the packaging is easier to see in person. It just wasn't picking up that well on camera. I tried changing my lighting around and it was just difficult to see, but it does have these cool Jaguar spots and then it goes to that sort of streaky shift. But the inside is just as stunning, if not more so. Here we're seeing that little printed texture on the center shade again. And it's hard to tell because I've already been swatching and playing with these, but the shade next to it is one of those speckled shades, sort of like the shimmers in the new Nude palette. If you've seen that one, it's sort of a conglomeration of little speckled pigments in there, and then when you swirl them all together, they make this beautiful gunmetal gray, just multifaceted shade. All of the swatches are the finger and brush swatches like I typically do them, with the finger swatches on top. These have no primer and they're all done with a dry e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush. The pigmentation on these with both brush and finger is insane. The brush swatches are stunning. I mean, did you see that matte black? Rewind a little bit and go look at that matte black shade. It's crazy. All right, we're gonna look at the Python palette now. I love this packaging. I know a lot of people do not like snake print things, so perhaps this one won't be for you, but look at the colors in here. We're seeing neon, blues, greens. We do have a little bit of coral, a little tiny bit of neutrals there in the corner, but this is a really dynamic, colorful blue and green palette. Again, we've got that center shade with the cool texture. Typical of these Huda 9 pans, there are no shade names here. So even on the back, there are no shade names. None of these palettes have any obvious eye safety warnings. And in the past, she has indicated the difference between pigments and eyeshadows. These are all labeled as eyeshadow palettes. So it's my assumption that all of these shades are eye safe pigments. That's the best I can tell from the information that I have access to at this point. But if you're feeling nervous, you can always patch test them. There's no such thing as being too cautious when it comes to your eye health. Now for the fourth and final palette. This is the Chameleon palette. I love this one. This is, spoiler alert, this is my favorite of the bunch. You could probably tell because I'm wearing it. I love the shades. I love the colors. I love the textures. That purple shadow, though, is something else. We do have the texture printed shadow. This time it's in the corner instead of in the center. And there's also one of the swirly looking shades. This isn't a speckled shade like the Jaguar palette. It's a swirled shade. We did see this in some of the pastel obsessions and also in the Naughty Nude palette. And this type of shade, the swirled shade, was disappointing to me in the pastel obsessions. But you'll be able to see from the swatches here, this has really nice, smooth pigmentation. It's not just a little wash of glitter. This is that third shade, the red shimmer. Definitely shows up well. It's not quite as thick and foily as the others, but I do like a mixture of textures, and it works well with the other shimmers. You'll be able to see that in the tutorial. All in all, it's well-rounded. It's so pretty. I love that purple. Let's just call it like it is. I love this whole palette, but I love that purple shade. Now that you've gotten a good look at each palette individually, you've seen the swatches, I want to show you a tutorial for this eye look that I'm wearing in today's video. I used the Wild Chameleon palette for this one, so I'm going to show you I used the Wild Chameleon palette for this look, so I will show you a quick tutorial and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. Okay, all around, I really like this release. It's fun, it's got a great balance. We've got some really colorful, interesting color stories. We've got bright, bold contrast, especially with Python and Chameleon, balanced out with something a little bit more toned down or neutral, warm, golden, sparkly, neutral adjacent coming from Wild Tiger, and then more of like a sultry, smoky, more cool toned, more kind of sexy vibe with Wild Jaguar. There's a little bit of something for everybody here, and I think all around this collection is well-rounded. It's exciting. Even the most kind of basic neutral palette, the Wild Tiger palette, it's still an interesting take on a neutral palette with all these textures. We've got foil, shimmer, kind of this shifty topper. Even the neutral tones in here have a little bit of a buttery, caramel, marigold type of vibe to them. It's just a different twist on a neutral palette. I really like that. I definitely think that as far as interesting textures and interesting color combos go, Huda is one to watch, and I think that even this more neutral palette shows us that. I like this whole collection. However, there are some pieces that I like more than others. I would say my least favorites, or the ones that I'm not really going to go to that much, are Wild Tiger and Wild Python. Now I know, I just discovered / admitted my love for green, and here we are getting some really cool, funky green and neon and blue, this color combo. Don't get me wrong, I think it's pretty, I think it's exciting, I really like it. I just feel like if I want this color story, I'm gonna go for my Lush Life palette from ColourPop, which has a little bit more depth, a little bit more richness. This isn't giving me jewel tone saturated emerald green that I was wanting from this packaging. And this is really fun. I'm glad that it's here. I think it's a great palette. I like to see a more mainstreamed brand like Huda Beauty doing something that's this different and this exciting. So, like I said, I don't dislike it. It's just, of the 4 palettes, these are the 2 that I am less into, less likely to reach for, which means that my favorites are Wild Chameleon and Wild Jaguar. This one's kind of the wild card for me because I don't usually do really smoky, silvery, more cool toned looks, but this is a very exciting combination of colors and textures. I love this dusty lavender. I like that the whole color scheme is sort of tempered with this purple tinge. I love purple eyeshadow, no surprise to anybody. So this is a really fun and different take on a more neutral palette, especially in my collection because this isn't the type of thing I typically gravitate towards. And this is fun. This is inspiring. These gunmetal metallics are just absolutely edible. They're so good. And you know what? I love coral, I love purple, I love gold. We've got some rich berries. This purple is just so beautiful. I love this color. I could not resist using this one today. These are all tones that I like to wear and they just make me happy. Again, the textures in here are absolutely delicious. You know, if you had to pick favorites, these would be my two favorites, but overall, formula-wise, color scheme-wise, all four are absolutely beautiful. I love this release, and this is what I want to see. The little lip set is a great addition to this collection. I like that it's not overkill. Huda's really good about that. She doesn't overkill a collection. This feels very intentional. It feels curated. It feels exciting. It feels innovative. I personally really love it. I'm still waiting on a Blush Obsessions. Huda, let me know. I'm excited for that. But overall, I'm a big fan. I love it. I don't think you can go wrong. Just depends on what colors you're interested in. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about this collection. Are you interested? Have you already placed your order for any of these? Are you picking them up? Are you waiting to see what's next? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Okie dokie. Let me just get myself organized here real quick. The Tiger upset Wild Tiger. Wow. Tiger Obsessions. Wild Tiger. To the why can't I get this out? Ah. Shh. Huh? I know everybody's going wild for these. Get it? Because it's Wild Obsessions. Okay. I'm sorry, I'll move along. Okay. Got distracted by Instagram. That's what happens when you go to look for info. Then you just start scrolling so many pretty things and shiny things and story of my life. Okay, that's it. That's lip swatches. We did it. Okay, that's great. Good job. Alright. Whew. I know, my hair is so dark that you can hardly see how cute these earrings are. They're little cherries. They're from By Mel Klein. I love her earrings. She's so fun and creative, and I mean, come on, these are super cute. It's been a while since I went with a look like this. I've been rocking a lot of blues and greens lately. You have to admit, I have not been staying in the comfort zone all that much. I'm very impressed with myself. Oh, also, there is a end of summer sale on my Etsy shop right now. So if you've had your eye on anything in my Etsy shop, go check out because it might be on sale. A bunch of stuff is 25% off, and I've been already starting to release some of my fall designs, which are super cute, and there's going to be more fall designs soon. Then there's going to be Halloween designs, and then there's going to be holiday designs, and there's going to be little snowflakes and snowmen and non-denominational winter designs and Christmas trees, and I'm so excited. I love cute things. Have you noticed that? That must be why I love your face so much, because it's a cute thing too. Did you see that? Did you see that segue? Alright. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I love your face so much, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye!